Alright, here we go, guys. So before we get into the build, I'd like to just show the modules that are going into it standalone for real quick. So first here, I'm showing this is the wall retractor. Second, this is the stair retractor. Third is going to be the floor retractor. And finally, fourth is our flip-flop, which will work in conjunction with the wall retractor. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the wall retractor. And we're going to start with 8 pistons facing towards you. On either side of those pistons we need 2 repeaters. The first repeater at 2 ticks, the second at full, and then 2 redstone on the 2 full repeaters. Now we're going to need 2 blocks on the corner, diagonal outside of each repeater, and on the inside of those blocks, 2 redstone torches. Okay, so now we're going to need to build up another layer above. It's going to be 2 2x3 platforms on either side of our pistons. And we're going to hook these up just the same as the bottom, with one small exception. We're going to use 2 extra redstone. That's going to wrap around. I'm going to put it in here right now. And you can see there, those two are the only difference between the 2 layers. And then here I'm going to bridge both the left and the right side together with that one piece of redstone, that little wire, and then that repeater. And now what that'll let us do is it'll let us have just one input for that entire module, for the wall retracting module. So you can see here, I demonstrate real quick. I got a redstone torch which gives me signal, and it's retracted. No signal, it's in place. God, what is the opposite of retracted? Racted? I don't know. Anyhow, moving on. Okay, so that's that for that. And so the second module is the stairs. This is what grabs the stairs and pulls them in and out. So it's going to start with an inward facing piston and an outward towards the wall facing piston. The 2 blocks below it, I'm using purple wool just to differentiate the different modules. And those 2 redstone torches on the inside of the walls are very important, so don't forget those. So on the outside of the wall here, we're going to put in our wiring for the pistons. It's going to be 1 repeater, 1 redstone wire, and 1 torch. You're going to see here, I'm going to do it again on the other side, so that'll give you a little extra time to look at it. So directly below the piston, we're going to put the repeater. Behind that repeater, there's going to be a block with redstone dust on top of it. And then behind and below that block, we're going to have a redstone torch attached to that block. You can see it there. Okay, so that's it for that. And we're going to go ahead and hook up the floor retractor now. So what we need to do is we need to go down 5 blocks, and we're going to place 4 pistons at the bottom of our 5 block pit. We're going to place 2 atop of 2, and at the base of that, any 2 solid blocks. You don't need to use wool, obviously. uh, 2 redstone torches, and then another 2 blocks, 2 repeaters at the foot, going into our blue blocks there, and just 2 redstone behind it, and that's done. So it's pretty simple. Next, we're going to connect the stair retractor to the floor retractor. See, because both the stair retractor and the floor retractor, neither of them need a flip-flop because they both do it for themselves. The flip-flop is actually only for the wall retractor. So here what we're doing is we're putting directly below the block that has the redstone torch on it. We got to put another block with a redstone torch on top of that, and then just wire those 2 different devices together there. And just like above with the wall retractor, we're going to have 1 repeater that works the whole thing. So I guess those 2 modules are, they're very symbiotic. They pretty much are together, but they do require their own wire and blocks. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm putting in an output from, well, it's actually it's your control output, and right now I am putting it right beside the door. You don't necessarily need to put your button, your control, right next to the door. You can put it anywhere, as so long as the wire that runs from it connects to those 2 major inputs there. The one upon that powder blue block where the redstone torch is to the left of the screen right now, and then the other repeater below that we just saw. But here, this is how, if you wanted to have your button right next to the door, you could do it. Right now I'm moving the signal downward through a chain of horizontal redstone torches, and you can see there I just hooked the button up to the bottom, and here unfortunately I'm having some lag issues here, so my graphics are having a hard time keeping up with the pistons firing. You can see here now after I put the blocks in that they do indeed fire off correctly and everything's good. So when you put your stairs in, you want to make sure that you're in this position set up here so that you don't get anything backwards, because that can be a pain in the butt. But there's the stairs. They just they go in just like that, and then you can see here when we press our button, there we go. We're going to retract them, and yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the flip-flop, which is going to allow us to control the entire system with the push of a button. So if this particular T flip-flop requires a redstone torch below, and then here I'm going to be confused for a second while I try to remember what I'm doing. But what we're going to do is we're going to need 2 pistons facing inward towards each other with a 2-block gap between, and then 1 block in between those 2. Getting ahead of myself a little bit here. Here's the 2 pistons, and then I'm actually going to accidentally put in 2, but I quickly covered that mistake. And then the 2 do go in, but they go above. 2 redstones on torches on either side, and then 2 redstone. And you can see I demonstrate here. That was with the button, but we're not going to use a button in the end. But you can see that every time the redstone, those two redstone torches on either side on the top get power, the block switches states and it allows our our retracting wall to either get power or not have power. Okay, so now I'm doing the bottom, the inside of the secret door controls. Now, just like the top controls, you can have these wherever you want as long as you can wire them. And I'm just having them right inside the stairs. I think my stairs only go down 4. But you can, you could extend your staircase downward however far you wanted, so long as you could, you had the wire to run it up. And there is a demonstration. So I'm about to wrap up here, guys, I think. And with the tutorial at all, I'm going to do a little outro for this video. But you can see, oh, wait, I almost forgot. I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video that there's every now and then there's a problem where the door gets a little confused. And that's what I'm putting in right now is the fix for that. And what that does is it just hooks into just the bottom 2 modules, just instead of triggering the wall retractor, the stair retractor, and the floor retractor, it just triggers the floor retractor and the stair retractor, because those two sometimes will get out of sync with the wall retractor. Okay, guys.